what would you do if you couldn't fail? I think a better question is, what would you do if it was okay to fail? If there were no real consequences, if nobody made you feel foolish, if nobody called you a tryhard for simply trying to do something, if it was okay with you and the people around you that you were still a work in progress, because you are. Are you ready for moo-moo time? Because in this arrangement, I can sit cross-legged, which is, I read a tweet, I think good for ADHD. Who knows? Nothing's good for ADHD, or everything is. Hard to tell. All right, first things first, this video, this is not for you if you are good at things. This is not for you if you are a champion, if you are a winner, if you have trophies that don't say participation or most improved. I don't know. I just fucking spaced out. I just hit the space button, and the space button was in my brain, and it took me to outer space. Apologies to the editors of this video. This is not for winners. Winners, see yourselves out. Go get on the podium. We've had enough of you. Okay, you got enough attention. Oh, you got a medal? You got a trophy that doesn't say participation or most improved? Keep scrolling. Go, get.
Today we're here to honor Joe Swanson for pulling my poor one-eyed cat Bootsy out of the old stovepipe of my grandmother's cabin.
This is for you, the triers, the try-hards. People say that like it's a negative thing. I'm talking to the youth. I'm talking to you, young person. What's wrong with being a try-hard? What's wrong with trying hard? Trying hard is only embarrassing if you are in a culture that venerates winning above all else. And you probably are. I am. That's the culture I was raised in. Americans love a winner. We love an underdog who becomes the top dog. I just made that up. Wow. She's so deep. We love when people can overcome their obstacles, pull themselves up by the bootstraps. We love when the setback is just a setup for the comeback. We love effort if the outcome is perfection. We love effort if the outcome is winning. And I know you probably had a coach who shared cheesy quotes like, winning isn't everything, it's the only thing.
Can't have anyone freak out there, okay? You've got to keep our composure.
Cool. But honestly, winning is boring. Winners are kind of boring. I mean, only one person can ever win in a zero-sum game. And then what is everyone else, a loser? Second place is the first loser. Okay, well, guess what? I love being a loser. I love being a loser now, but for a long time I didn't. For a long time, I thought if I couldn't be good at something, I just shouldn't do it. If I couldn't be the best, if I couldn't be really good, if I couldn't be great, why try? And if I wasn't good at something, then the thing wasn't fun. When winning isn't everything, it's the only thing, then nothing is fun unless you're winning. And most of us actually won't win. There's usually like one winner, maybe like 40 at the Super Bowl because like the one team wins. I actually don't know how many people are on a football team. It feels like a lot. Honestly, it feels like I want to say 40, and that feels low. Like I feel like if you saw an entire football team, I feel like it would fill a commercial airline flight, but I don't know if that's true. And there's no way for me to find out. There's no way for me to find out anything that I want to find out in fewer than 3 seconds. Sorry. Last year I decided to try. I decided to be embarrassing, which I kind of naturally am already. I mean, I've been like 6'1" since I was 15 years old. That's hard when we got a helicopter. And now we get to play the game Emergency Rescue or Billionaire. A few years ago, I decided to be embarrassing. I decided to try, and I decided to try hard. I decided to try things that I wasn't good at yet, to have what Carol Dweck, I believe, coined a growth mindset, to try something with literally no purpose, no utility, no end goal in mind, but just try things. I tried paddleboarding, very outdoorsy. I went with my friend Brooke. We went to the Salt River. I did fall in 8 seconds after I stood up. And then I decided paddleboarding is not stand-up paddleboarding, it's sit-up paddleboarding, and it was a lot more fun. I tried needlepoint because I love an old lady craft. I'm a future old lady. I'm actually already an old lady. I am actually 600 years old. It's true. It's true. And so I've got to learn needlepoint. And I thought I was kind of okay at it. I wasn't. It was actually really, really hard, but it's so fun. It's so soothing. And I signed up for piano lessons at age 40. It was slightly awkward because the application does repeatedly ask the age of the child, and I kept having to type in, I'm the child, I'm 40, the child is me, a 40-year-old woman. I, a 40-year-old woman, is the child who wants to learn piano. I walked into that first piano lesson truly believing that I had what it took to be the next Taylor Swift.
No! No!
This is after I said, I'm just gonna try things and I don't really care about the outcome. Turns out I did care. Turns out I brought a Taylor Swift piano book. Turns out I couldn't read music. Turns out it's actually really hard to move your fingers across a keyboard and sing. The way the synapses in my brain were attempting to fire, it was like pew, pew, pff, neural pathways were like attempting to be formed in parts of my brain that have been dormant probably forever. And I have the best time. 50 minutes once a week. I get to sit down and embarrass myself one-on-one. 1 year later, I got to do a recital. And I got there and I realized I was the only adult who had signed up for the recital. There was not a set schedule for the recital. Instead, the teacher basically spins a roulette wheel and it lands on a student, and then that student gets up. And I watched student after student, literal children, 8 years old, 11 years old, walk up to the piano and just playing piano that you would hear on classical NPR. I was still on Ode to Joy in the key of D. I was attempting to play a song that I had practiced for 4 months. It's called Dream Echoes. It's supposed to sound like echoes. And then da-da-da, da-da-da. This is how it went.
Good for you. Are you ready? I'm ready.
Is everyone else ready? 100% the right move. It gets really confusing near the bottom, but you get the gist. And I was embarrassed in the moment, but I'm mostly really proud. I'm proud that I tried something. I'm proud that I tried it in front of other people before I was perfect at it, before I was even good at it. And I'm sorry for the children who had to see me who were deeply embarrassed because they cannot fathom being a 40-year-old woman getting up in front of a group of people and biffing a recital, even though everybody in that room, I think it was like 12 people, even though there were only 12 people in that room. But I actually think I taught them a valuable lesson. And I'm glad I shared it with you because I am actually sick of the highlight reel. I hate the highlight reel. I mean, you know in your heart, like social media is fake, like no one's telling the whole truth, but it feels like the truth when all you see are people's kitchen renovations and beautiful new babies and expensive weddings or new cars. It feels like everybody else is getting it right and you can't. I actually want a low light reel. And maybe more importantly, like your math teacher, I want to see your work. I want to see you try. I actually think it's very, very cool to try. This highlight reel mentality also erases all of our effort, all of the meaning behind what we did. When we focus on a highlight reel or an overnight success story or somebody who overcame stuff and we focus only on the victory, it erases all of the struggle and all of the effort. And that's the learning. And the effort and the struggle are kind of where the best stuff happens. If the only measure of success is one specific version of success, where you win, where you meet your exact goal, where you achieve greatness or perfection, it tends to render all of your work, all of your struggle, all of your effort meaningless unless you get to exactly where you wanted to be, exactly where you thought you should be. But your effort is never wasted. Your effort is not meaningless. Like your math teacher, I do want to see your work. I want to see how you got somewhere. I want to see you try something and have it not work out. That's actually reality for most of us. You try something, you kind of suck at it. Maybe you try another thing, you try another thing, you get kind of okay at it, and that's good enough. What I didn't believe in college or grade school or high school was that C's get degrees, baby, and they do. Not only do C's get degrees, they also make C-suite executives. And if you're a kid and you're watching this, I'm not saying like don't study, try hard, but it's also okay to not be the best at something. It's okay to give it your best and end up right in the middle or even near the bottom. One of my favorite writers is Anne Lamott. She's written so many books, I think 20. I think her 20th book, which just came out, is her last book. And she's famous for the concept of shitty first drafts. Shitty first drafts, just getting it out on the paper, getting something out and going from there. You don't see a shitty first draft in a published book, not usually. Some books, yeah, some books you can tell that was a first draft. That should have been in the trash.
Know your fucking place, trash.
But the power of a shitty first draft is that you have the freedom to be shitty, that you have the freedom to suck, the freedom to attempt something, the freedom to get it out and maybe have something workable that you can improve on. Mary Oliver wrote that you do not have to be good. Like, really, Mary? Are you sure? Because winning isn't, Mary Oliver never saw that winning isn't everything, it's the only thing poster. No. She mostly just like walked through fields and wrote about nature, which is amazing. Go read her poetry. You don't have to be good. You don't have to be perfect. You don't, as my recital video probably showed you, even have to be semi-good. Your effort is enough. It's going to be okay. We don't know what it is, but it's out there. And we're gonna find it.